Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of the EcoStruxure Automation Expert Training. I'm your host, Leandro Mada, and in this video what we're going to see is how we can make some kind of diagnostics of the controller inside the graphical interface. So let's go to the presentation. So basically, when we configure our hardware, we have added the TM3 modules. Those TM3 modules are part of a CAD hardware based on the library that we have added in our solution. So when we add these TM3 modules with the CAD hardware, it creates an instance. This instance, we can use it also in the graphical part. So if we go to our CAD hardware in our solution, we should be able to drag and drop the TM3s in our solution. So what we're going to do is to create another canvas and call it canvas system, and then we just drag and drop each of the elements. So let's go to the presentation, to software, and there we go. So let's create a new canvas. New item, canvas underscore system. Okay, yeah, PLC. Title, yeah, system. Finish. So if we go back to our solution, okay, if we go to, let me just close all the documents. I still PLC running. So if we go to the system part, okay, if we go to this hardware configuration, we have added 3 TM3 modules, okay, one for the analog, digital input, digital output. These instances that we have created here are linked to this one that we have over here in the CAD instances. You can see they are related to the same controller, resource 0 and this one, okay. So once you have it, this over here, we should be able to add it on the new canvas. So TM3, you can see you have the interface. Over here you have the interface, and over here you have the interface. So simple as that. Once you have this, let's compile. Let's save all this and add the simulation. Start local HMI. And let me just put this over here. Let me just log in and then show you the administrator 1. Here you can see that I have diagnostic, and if we go here, I'm able to select this or navigate over here. As you can see over here, I can see the inputs, okay, and the outputs. So let's try to test this. Let me just put this view and check the camera. So that's the camera, and here you can see the different sensors. Okay, no, you cannot see it. So I have this sensor for entry of the sorting part. I have this one for the white, red, and blue. Okay, so if you pay attention now, you can see that it changed some of these parts. Okay, you can see how it's changing, and you can see the real estate over here. Okay, if you click on the model, you should be able to see this in bigger with more information on what is in there. So here is the sorting. Okay, it's doing that. Here have some pulses before, but I'm going to tap that part because it's not configured. And here you can see that removing, and it's doing all this part. So this is one of the advantages of having this part already configured using the CAD again, because it has all the complete information. Now the same can be applied for the analog input. If we click over here, we should be able to see the, you are not seeing it. You haven't seen it, my fault. Here, if you click over here, you should be able to see this in bigger. There we go. So let's just quick demonstration again. Here you can see, and you can see also the LED and the pop-up, how it changed. Here and here and here. Okay, so you can see all that is working fine. Okay, so we're going to remove this again, just to show you that you receive the information. So this one is good for troubleshooting, just in case you haven't made the configuration. Now, if we go back here on the analog input, you have the possibility to change this part to range, to unit, to see the voltage. This will depend on the color of the sensor. So, for example, if I use the white, I'm going to introduce in the other way just to show you, and you can see now this is going to change. Okay, 5 volts. I'm going to use the red one now. Okay, so probably it's going to change, just to show you the change. Okay, and now if I use the blue, probably it's going to change now. And you can see the different things over there. Okay, so now with the output, you have the possibility to force this part. Okay, you will have the indication. So conveyor run, invert, you can see it's running, and I'm going to normal, otherwise it will start and doing things that I want to. Okay, so now if I want to, for example, to sorting invert, we're doing something over there, it's activating. Okay, but it will not do anything because the compressor is not running. Okay, so I can invert this. Okay, you can see that it's activated. Going back, the blue, invert, normal. Now I'm forcing. You can see that is force. Okay. So this is how you can diagnostic part of the inputs and outputs of the controller. So let's go out from here and let's go back to the presentation. I don't want to forget about anything. So there are a few things, or at least I was able to find this. Inside the hardware common, we have this hardware cut. One is for the CPU diagnostic and the other one called soft dPAC. This one gives us information about the status of the controller. And I found it and I believe, okay, it's more information. It's no harm. So what we can do is to add them into our application or directly into the resource, and then call the cut instance in our application. So, oops, let's go back here into the application that we have over here. So I'm going to access into the resource directly, and here what I'm going to do is to add the control W diag CPU diagnostic. Okay, as you can see, it's the same as I wanted to use over here, CPU diagnostics. This one just init require a init. Instead of this, it's going to be diag M5.4 dPAC. Okay, I have it this part. And the other one is called soft dPAC. So if we control here, soft dPAC, here we can add instance soft dPAC and fail just in name, doesn't matter. So as soon as you add this over here and save it, you should be able to see on the hardware part that we have added these two, the M5.4 dPAC and the other one. So what we can do now is to download this part into the controller. So if we select this, deploy, you can make the online change compile, but usually compile and then delete, clean and delete. Online change deployment, so deploy online change, this is one way to do it. Online change successful. So this is already downloaded into the controller. What we can do now is to go into the Canvas system and add those things. So I have this part, okay, of the CPU, and I can have also this. I can put it over here. Okay, so if I simulate this part, start local HMI. Administrator 1. Diagnostics, and you have all this part for the controller, and here you can turn on the diagnostics. Let's see, CPU load. It's not showing anything. Let me see, why not? Running line system. Because I haven't done the init, that's why. So trigger event, I'm going to trigger this part, because the idea you can make a power cycle and make it work. Now you should be able to see that it's doing something now. Pause on, it's doing something. Okay, so this is what happened when I made the online change. It didn't update. You should be able to use this one also. Okay, but this is just the initialization, that's why it didn't run. Okay, so this is how you can make some kind of diagnostic or additional diagnostics. If I'm not wrong, there is another one called MG, just go check this one. Okay, if you go to the library of the runtime services, you should be able to find this one, MIPGet, that also have this kind of potential of diagnostic. Okay, this is just another way to do it, and I believe this one is much quicker. Just to have an overview of what's going on. So let's go back to the presentation. Don't want to miss anything. That's it. So this is how we can make some kind of diagnostic of digital input and output, analog input and output also, and how we can add more information about the PLC into the HMI. In the next video, what we're going to do is how we can make the configuration of our machine. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you on the next one.